Greetings, ladies and gentlemen, Gaming Toucan here. Welcome to episode 20 of Let's Play Europa Universalis with the goal of completing Mare Nostrum achievement. And before I start playing, a short announcement which you can skip, but I invite you to listen to it nonetheless. One of the viewers, Mr. Anurag Shah, has approached me with a request to share his charity initiative in which he is involved. And after familiarizing myself with this initiative, I have decided that the cause is indeed righteous and it doesn't seem to be any sort of a scam. The initiative is called Computers for Tribes, and a card link should appear somewhere in the upper part of the screen. The initiative is about buying computers for India, and particularly for the more rural regions of India, so that children there get access to technology and all the benefits that technology, most importantly internet, offers. I find this initiative righteous because it provides chance, the greatest gift we can give to anyone. Chance is practically the only thing you really need in life in order to succeed. If you work hard, have the chance, right? I view this initiative as righteous, and I have decided to support it myself with 100 zloty because I'm from Poland. It's about 25 euro, a little less, and that's more or less what I can afford right now. So yeah, I have shared the cause. I think it is valuable to support. The link should be here, and now let's get back to gameplay. So in the last episode of our series, we have begun our huge coalition war, or actually we did not begin it. The coalition had, and more specifically Lithuania, but we sure as hell are going to finish this conflict ourselves. Now, the cause for the war was taking a big part of the Spanish coast, including Sevilla, which was very juicy as a target. It has put us into ridiculous overextension, but that is going to be reduced over time, of course. Now, the French look in a peculiar is the wrong word in this case, a perilous situation as they are losing. So we'll sacrifice the French eventually, and the goal is to simply hold the line and finish the war with truces so that the enemy can't fight us again until we dismantle Milan. With that being said, we are holding Alps. We have retrieved Hum, an awesome fort with 90% fort defense, and we are moving towards Dalmatia, hoping to get it back as well. We didn't manage to land here with our troops in time, so that was a painful event, unfortunate. So let's add a few mercenary troops towards this army because it will need some support. This army was sieging Crete and now it's done there, so good job. And let's get back to Milan, speed 1, and let's march against Lithuanian forces that are sieging our province. We'd very much prefer to stop enemies in Waldstadt, and that will happen in future. That will be our goal, to build a fort there to secure our borders. Of course, Ottomans are disputing our trade. It is normal for them to do, they always do that, and I see no reason why shouldn't we kill 3,000 Palatinate troops. It's almost free. We'll manage to liberate a piece of France in the meantime. And yeah, we're back on the conflict finally. Our navy is doing rather well within Mediterranean, and we dare not send it anywhere else but Mediterranean. Though actually I think that sending 6 galleasses to Lithuanian and Polish coastline could be quite beneficial. Now, this battle is going to be bloody, and I hope we can get victory here because the enemy is going to have reinforcements. So Lithuanian morale and military tech is pitiful compared to us. As you can see, we are crushing them. This should be easy. And right now our allies, the Swedish and Muscovites, are doing righteous work against Polish and Lithuanian troops, effectively bogging them down in the Northeastern front. Sounds like World War II almost, but this isn't Hearts of Iron, excuse me. And in Southwestern front, well, the French are getting kicked very harshly by our enemies. But it is of little importance to us. We will help them as best as we can, obviously, because we most certainly need the French. This is going to be a defeat, unfortunate as this might sound, and I forgot about this for a second, excuse me. Now, is this worth attacking? Because we'll have only 6,000 infantrymen against the fort. It is minus 7%. Anyway, we could send the navy and hope to besiege it, and I think that's what we are going to do. And I don't like the fact that these Venetians are just waddling around and taking out our mercenary forces, which we intend to reinforce this army with. So the casualties are high on enemy's side, higher than ours, but we need our men more than our enemy does, because as you can see, the enemy is dwarfing us number-wise, and we need to be very careful with that. Regardless, we will continue to, well, we could move to Waldstadt, and that is good. We'll take enemy there. We don't want to get involved with Teutons as an independent military unit. They will take our troops out, and we can't afford to spread and pay the price. Now, we're going to fight. I think we're going to fight Cleves troops. Cleves. I'm sorry. Pronunciation butcher yet again strikes. Should be an easy victory, considering they don't have enough infantry to cover cannon line, and cavalry will die rather fast to our forces. Superior numbers, though we are really low on artillery, and I've been actually having a problem with that as of late, and I think I need to reorganize my troops a little bit. Good, so this army is exterminated. Good indeed. And we can send these mercs towards Dalmatia to reinforce our forces. The Venetians can get there in time to kill them, so this is good. Cleves troops, Clevenian, I don't know really. The troops from Cleves are anyway gone, so this is looking rather nicely. We can unite some of... can we actually strike at them? This will be nice. The enemy will suffer another 10k troop blow, though I'm afraid we won't be able to kill them all. I hope the attrition will, however, kill these coalition forces. Once we re-establish control over the Balkans, I would really like to land our forces in Crimea and start attacking Lithuanian troops here, so as to support our allies in the north. And we'll see if we can afford to do something as wild. This I don't like. The British are unwelcome. And the enemy has actually better military tactics, which is a problem. Let's hope for shock damage to actually break enemy line and get the morale on our side, though the English are trying to reinforce. Now, will they be first? I suppose they will be, unless we do a forced march. Oh, that's not forced march, excuse me. I completely forgot we don't have the forced march tech yet. So that's unfortunate, but we'll just kill Teutons and see what the British decide to do about that. This is looking nice. I like the fact that enemy has 66,000 troops in one place. It's a lot of attrition damage, and attrition is something we like right now. So the French land is being retaken. I hope the Teutons die before the English can reinforce them. Would you mind? Because I don't want to continue this fight with a bad modifier. And the English... Come on, die. Good. So, the English are landlocked. Excuse me, movement locked. They have a good commander here, so this will be a bloody and painful battle. We'll finally start paying with our manpower, which will hurt. And on a side note, well, we're going to call Napoli soon enough. And take Dalmatia. This does seem rather tempting to just fire away and take this force. Yeah, we want it done. Revolt is here. Damn it. we have a little high excuse me, we have a high unrest because of the overextension events, but no matter, we'll deal with that. And I think we're a little short on cannons in this army. Yes, that's a problem, and we're taking significantly more damage than we should be. So that's a problem. But never mind, we should be able to defeat the British, I hope. And this will be a very bloody battle indeed. First truly bloody battle on our side. And this is unfortunate. I hope that some enemy army marches through this territory. The British have lost far more troops, but again, we need ours more, and we could have limited those casualties by investing a little more in artillery, and I think that it's high time to actually start doing so. We don't need this attrition damage as long as we can keep an eye, on this cavalry army. And Crimea is looking fine, still steadily under our hold. It will hold for much longer. Good, another 1,000 troops exterminated. And we'll kill even more. So Cleves is losing some additional troops here, which is good, and the French are dead. So yeah, right now we are keeping ourselves afloat and effectively dealing with coalition armies. We can't reach a peace deal yet, but it will come, all in due time. Bye-bye, French. I'm afraid that the French will peace out eventually, and it will hurt our war effort. Do we need to go back and defend mountains? We don't want to fight those separatists. The Balkans look secured. The French have an army in the south, so right now France is the priority as a battlefield. And we don't have the resources to siege that. That's way too well defended. And generally, Europe seems well fortified. So let's move to Nemours. I still think that this is a horrible way to pronounce this. And yep, costs pretty high. So Berry, I hope. Never mind, I'm probably doing it bad anyway. Only one who doesn't make mistakes is the one who doesn't try, yes? So, by slowly and careful... Oh my, wait a second. We don't want to fight the Lithuanians, who have the reinforcements of Hamburg and Augsburgian forces. Or do we? They have low morale. We'll be crossing a river. We have 3 maneuver. The enemy commander has 1. So we won't be having penalties for that. We could fight it. Or the enemy has severe artillery advantage. We could fight it just by sending in the artillery, and that should be enough, I think. And a little more mercenaries, because why not? I think, yeah, the Lithuanians have decided not to fight at all and avoid our troops. Wise decision, but they are taking attrition damage in the process. And how does French morale look? They are still high regarding war enthusiasm. The war was short. The war exhaustion is not a problem, though besieged provinces are. We'll need to deal with Paris as a priority. Taking this won't be easy, especially considering how many enemies are around. But essential. And wait a second, what is this? You want to attack our 6,000 cavalrymen? Would be my guess. I don't mind that, good sir. Don't mind at all. Now the question is, will the Lithuanians move not a problem really right now. Well, that is a problem. So I think we'll have to lay low after this siege. I did not notice that in time, and now I will pay. And this is horrible for me. I just probably lost this entire cavalry troop, which was bad planning on my side. So we'll have some regiment reductions. So that was a mistake. Clearly, let's do the cavalry reduction. We don't need those cavalry regiments. They are getting less and less important as the time goes on. Question is, will the Lithuanians attack us in Berry? Because if they do... So this is fine. The cavalry men can retreat, and... Yes, they will arrive. And unfortunate, perhaps... No available commander. A bloody battle, and one that is, frankly, quite costly. So Lithuanians are not willing to go after us, which is good. That attrition is still eating them alive. The benefits of fighting a defensive war, no doubt. Should we move against Venice? It's a juicy target that should limit the coalition's engagement. But let's see how are we standing with a potential peace deal. We're getting close to a white peace, which would be nice, I suppose. Yeah, and we'll see. I think giving something to the French wouldn't be bad at all at this point. I mean, I will have to take it from them eventually. And this battle is won. Good job. Let's not dwindle on that, but is already victorious, and focus on greater challenges ahead. In this case, yeah, well, the Venetians have retreated rather quickly. We have lost some cavalrymen, which hurts. We will, of course, not be dismayed from our goal here. Never mind. Let's leave the cavalry and get back to the siege of Dalmatia. Because let's be honest, we do need those forces right there a little more. So Nemours is ours. The north of France, the center of France is almost secured. I'd say it would be secured if we managed to retake Paris. And the fact that the enemy perhaps move here will cross a river, but we have superior maneuver. It's farmlands. I think giving a fight to the Lithuanians in Champagne could be good. Oh, Tyrolis are rebelling again as well. This is actually securing our flank because the rebels are rather unruly. Beautiful. Transport ships, excellent. We do need reinforcements for the navy. And will they move here now? Could we strike at the enemy at the point 12? And it's a fort. French fort at that. So yeah, we are moving straight against the enemy where it should be fought. Good job. I so don't want to fight the Bosnians, but I'm afraid there's no way around it right now. The Bosnians will need to be... Oh my god, this is so beautiful. They have -2 and they have rolled a 0 on fire phase despite having a better commander. Oh, how a wonderful number. 10-1 in casualties. This is the kind of numbers we'd like to see. Beautiful. Just look at it. 10,000 to almost 4,000 casualties. Life's good sometimes, and this is one of those moments. Let's move again and kill another 1,000 enemy soldiers and get closer to that Picardy. Picard, I suppose. Picard. Right, so our... Excellent. Finally, cause should reduce our overextension below 100%, so no more catastrophes, I suppose. Good. And another 1K troops killed. We can't move further into enemy territory. I think it's time to give a fight at Picardy and not let the enemy take this fort. The question is, do we have time to wait? And the enemy is already retreating. This is good. I think we can start it off right now and see what 12th of March. Let's wait a little bit and move now, or perhaps wait still. Good, we'll move now and attack the enemy. We'll see if the enemy decides to reinforce this position. They wasted a lot of troops in that engagement, in that siege I mean, and it's very costly. So they are willing to reinforce it by moving through Champagne. But they will be too late, as this army will be devastated. Yes, this is going fine, and right now this is not going fine due to rolls. But with superior numbers, better morale and discipline plus tactics, we should be able to stack wipe our enemies, and that means Verdun and has suffered tremendous blow. Their army is non-existent. Lithuania has also lost their troops, and the enemy has lost its siege capacity on Picardy. So let's continue cleaning up the French incursion. And yes, beautiful, the enemy is engaged in rebel fights. Our fort prevents... I think the enemy shouldn't be able to move like this through a fort province. I'm still thinking the enemy is fort skipping me, the AI that is, but we'll see. So look, gather your troops in home, and it's time to go after the rebels. We need to leave a clean slate before we move against enemies on this flank. This is not looking so tragic. The Russians and Swedes are giving their due. I almost thought that they have suffered some major military blow in the north. But it doesn't seem like it. They're actually winning, so yeah, this is good. Enemy has lost tremendous amount of forces already compared to us. So the coalition will most likely be unsuccessful in their attempt to punish us for having aspirations and ambitions. Good, another army devastated. Hainaut in this case, we need to continue taking taxes. Thank you for your tax money. We're not going to do that, it's not worth financially right now. Okay, Battle of Bosnia is done. We didn't lose much. We can retreat to Tyrol. But we'd have to retreat through Treviso with separatists there. Oh well, our idea of invading Lithuanian heartland will probably have to wait, though this is looking good as the enemy has been stack wiped again. Peak efficiency at this point, and we'll continue our assaults. Let's go and see what we can get still. Wait a little, wait a few moments. Oh, go, 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 you have to go. And this is excellent, the Teutons will fight alone and our army will be able to significantly hurt them. It's the one with artillery, so that's good, I suppose. And this is going back to us. Excellent. This siege would be nice to lift, but it's nowhere near completion. So I trust my allies to get busy about it eventually. And do we want to we're going to intervene anyway, and this is a stack wipe, I suppose. the Dietmachen in 1592. Good lord, and they are doing fine. The Peasants' Republic has joined the fray and their participation has been as expected. Do you want to strike the enemy in Hainau? Yeah, we do. The Teutons are weakened. They don't have reinforcements yet. We'll strike at them, we'll kill them, and move on. We could leave some forces in Gorz and Istria to take them back under our firm control. And just go after the rebels. The Venetians have retreated, but Hamburgians need to be taken down. And a costly battle. This isn't looking good. Right now we are the ones paying the price, so lack of unity amongst our enemies is working in our favor. And this wasn't the best initiative, shall we say. I think it's time to move to Calais and think about retaking Paris, or moving into eastern France, at least. Excellent, Napoli. Oh, wait a second. Oh, we can do that. Napoli is now being called. Most excellent. This is horribly painful to watch. So costly. Let's send this much weakened army. And... excuse me. And we don't need that much infantry, really. We can unite this regiment just a little bit to maintain the line and preserve our manpower. There's no real benefit in just burning all your manpower in a few moments. We'll need those people if the conflict extends and the coalition has a real difficult time surrendering in a battle. So this should be a clean victory. We are on the offensive, we dominate the battlefield, and yes, excellent. The enemy has no artillery to protect its infantry, so divide and conquer, again, in the best version possible. Frankfurt, Aachen and Hesse, under not so good commander, will be crossing a river, and our general does not have superior maneuver. So we are arriving in July in the woods. Perhaps not the best decision after all. We'll wait. Sometimes not doing anything is the best course of action, even if it's still a difficult one to take. Excellent, this is looking fine. The enemy troops are going to disappear in a puff of smoke. Is the enemy going through the fort again? Okay, stack wipe of Hamburgian forces, as expected. And moving into Waldstadt will allow us to secure our border. Finally, we can't do that because the English are coming south to Genoa. So we'll deal with them and march to Barrois. I'm probably doing this horribly wrong right now. The important part is to stop enemy from reaching Tuscany. As you can see, this state is superbly valuable. It produces 10 income per month and is in fact the heart of our powerhouse. The heart of our source of power. Oh, yeah, bye-bye. Mistake, as you can see. This is what happens when you're being... well, when you're being... where's our navy? Excuse me, you have to move to this port, otherwise you're going to die. And we're not going to do that, right? We're going to save you, if possible. Now let's continue maneuvering. The important part is to take Calais and Paris. kill some British. This is just sports. Again, sieging Balkans is an arduous process for the enemy, and I hope it takes as much as possible. A few diplo points to increase gold income considerably. And yeah, fighting better than expected, perhaps because it's under King's personal command. We'll see. King is doing rather well. I hope he could die. It would be quite fun to happen. The death of our enemy's king. This is starting to look like a place for intervention. Let's get these troops to Verona and send them as a reinforcement for this army. Oh, the British. Quite stubborn people, really. Okay, let's move back a little south, and perhaps another visit in Milan will be necessary. Excellent, 7,000 artillery dead. A little more casualties than expected. Fighting artillery. So let's move to Cremona and this front and secure Milan again. As I said, I really want that fort in Waldstadt. It's imperative that we get it. Right now we are suffering tremendously because of the fact the enemy can just walk into Milan with impunity. And good, it seems the war is moving away again from France. Excuse me, it seems war, not the war. It seems war is moving away from France, which means our ally will be willing to stay in the conflict a little longer, which is good. And could we get a peace deal at this stage? Still no. Still willing to fight despite losing 500,000 people against 250,000. It's so easy to throw those numbers around casually, but what it would mean in reality is something arguably monstrous. Such casualties, right? Could you get no, let's just wait until our troops arrive on the 2nd of September. Should be now. It's 1st, so now. Sometimes a day makes a big difference. In this case, this army will be reinforced, which in turn will hurt our enemy profoundly. Okay, Hungary and Ferrara. In a truce, of course, they have entered the coalition. I hope they won't enter the war all of a sudden. It would be bad for us. Looking decent. We have the upper hand, and the enemy has the numbers in Istria again. The Serbs must be feeling quite anxious about this ticking annexation, considering the fact they haven't been involved in this conflict for now, and the moment they get annexed, this whole land will bleed. And the coalition no longer transfer trade power. Awesome. But still they aren't in a war with us, because the coalition war is already happening. Excellent, stack wipe. I'd love to move on the offensive and get Venice. We can't really afford to do that right now, can we? St. Gallen, let's claim Waldstadt. Should be safe. Oh, no, let's wait. We want to get after enemy so that we don't fight an offensive battle in mountains. Well, you people certainly don't like me. And I can't imagine why, really. We are just trying to do the good thing here and recreate the Roman Empire. As a republic, no less. No respect for ambition, these people. None at all. Good move here, actually. Send in a quick maneuver. Kill the Pomeranians, kill Cleaves, yes, again. Purely infantry, so these are mercenaries. Just meat for the meat grinder. And not let enemy get Balkans at all. Would be nice. Though... How is the situation looking in Calais? Let's bombard it. Well, the French finally have rebuilt their forces. And they are going to siege Paris, I hope. A big movement towards Balkans. What's the situation north? Not the best, really. The Swedes and Muscovites apparently can't break through the enemy lines. You can't really support them. They should be able to do it themselves, but who am I to judge? Didn't see what was happening right there because I was too involved with our southern flank. So, yeah, excellent. These cannons have certainly paid off and were persuasive. We could move this army back to Italy and send Mr. Giambacotta with hardy warrior trait to get involved in Crimea. And I think that's the thing we are going to do. With this army, we could land there unexpectedly and cause some mayhem by taking back not only our land, but taking out Lithuanian and Polish coastline at the Black Sea. Naval superiority is proving absolutely essential in this conflict, and it will continue to prove as such in the future. Now, this is a time when we need to start building up artillery. We are going to do it in safest provinces available. A plague, really? Oh, Modena. Can we afford that money? I mean, it's not much money. 100 ducats with our expenses isn't much. They get autonomy, they get reduced. Not really. Emilia Romagna isn't a state yet, so we're just going to abandon these people. As ugly as it might seem, it's for the betterment of our state. Now, we should reunite our navies. Because I have this feeling that we are not doing it properly. We should send this fleet right here. And where is our transport fleet? Here it is, already docked. So we'll reinforce it with additional units, and it will allow us to take this entire army at once rather than in two courses, which makes all the difference in the world if we want to assault Balkans or relieve Balkans soon enough. Can we hit the Venetians here? Because if we can, it would be just divine. Fine, looking fine. Calais is ours, so this flank is quite secured. It would be nice to have Hainaut as well. And never mind, let's just attack the Austrians. No point in spending too much time here or longer than necessary. Just get in, hit them hard where it hurts. It will be a difficult battle. And Normandy is no longer under enemy control, which will allow us to get our troops perhaps on the offensive. This looks like a juicy target. If we can siege rush it, it would mean that the French would be a little more secure. We would be able to sail away to Crimea. And the Austrians are getting royally annihilated. Nothing brings so much joy than seeing such numbers in a major battle. Just look at it. Glorious indeed. So let's move on the offensive. Perhaps Canton could be taken. If so, that would be a major victory for the Allied forces. For our Allied forces, of course, not the enemies. The enemy's Allied forces are being hurt considerably. Good, good, good. How is Unrest doing? Only Circassian separatists, and who cares about that really? Okay, this really needs reinforcement immediately. So let's sail to Crimea ASAP and get this army right there to relieve our fortress. Yes, Balkans are getting busy and uppity, but taking Fum will take absolutely ages. And you can see those proportions are looking gloriously. Not only are we capable of being better in battle, but we are also playing much more intelligently via attrition mechanics, which makes all the difference in the world, really. We can't do that. We'll just loot Friuli a little bit. We could actually loot Venice. Would be funnier to do. This army is severely underpowered on the artillery side. That's a problem. Let's hope that Crimea doesn't fall in this pip. Good, so now our forces will excuse me. I forgot the word all of a sudden. They will relieve Crimean siege and be hailed as heroes by those holding nearly to those fortifications. That is, unless the enemy moves too fast, though that doesn't seem to be an option. Additional 4 artillery units will be useful in Venice. And perhaps it's a good decision to actually go after Venice. I can't really think of a downside of spending our time right there. And I don't think we really need to waste all that manpower. They can just safely stay in Verona, where the enemy can reach them. With that being said, ladies and gentlemen, another part of this beautiful war is underway. Do consider to check out Mr. Shah's initiative for helping people in India get computers as well. We'll continue this conflict. From the looks of it, we'll actually make a little more steep demands than simple white peace. And thank you for your time and attention. See you again soon. Toodles and bye-bye.